Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Wednesday evening. Our first race will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. It is overcast, but it is not raining right now, and the track looks lightning fast. Hope that it will stay that way. I know there is rain in the forecast a little later, and looks like there might be rain somewhere in the area, but we'd like to be dry this evening and cash a few tickets. We'll see if we can get that done. But first up, let's look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. And note races 1, 2, and 3 have no changes. No changes. Races 1, 2, or 3. Race number 4 and number 6 spun from Magic. Races without hobbles. No hobbles for number 6 spun from Magic. Race number 5, number 8, OK Jasmine. Driver to be announced. Race 5, 8, OK Jasmine. Driver to be announced. Races 6 and 7, no changes. Race number 8, scratched is number 3, I Am What I Am. Race 8, number 3, am not in the 8th race. Race 9, scratch number 5, Fernhill Bella. Race 9, scratch 5, Fernhill Bella. And race number 10, there are no changes, no changes. Race number 10. Those are all the changes that we have at this moment. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Well, we might as well review race 3 as well. There are no changes in any of the first 3 dashes. Would Jamie Martin please call extension 228? Jamie Martin, please call 228. Field for race number 1 is on parade. 1 is Ruby Two Shoes. Mark Etzel drives for Robert Newton and Graham Hopkins and Peter Porter. Number 2 is Fancy Queen. Paul McKenzie for Bill Budd and Winback Farm. Number 3 is Ackles Hanover. Is Sam Fillion for Luke Bland. Determination. And number 4 is Le Bromontois, Alfie Carroll for Kelly Duval Lacaille and Jerome Lombard. Number 5 is Skyly Dream, Sylvain Lacaille for Kelly Duval Lacaille. And number 6, I think not, Brian McDonough for Nelson White and Deborah White and David Lawrence. Number 7, Kicking Your Mass, Anthony Hunt for Mick Crone and John Clark. And number 8, Alexa Play Country, Ron Waples Jr. for James Fullerton. It's a field of 8 for race number 1, going to post shortly. The starting gate is rolling for race number 1. Shaking up positions. Ruby Two Shoes, Fancy Queen, and Ackles Hanover on the inside. In the center, La Bromontois, Skyly Dream. And to the outside, I Think Not, Kicking Your Mass, and Alexa Play Country. An early break from Alexa Play Country. And now off stride, Fancy Queen. Ackles Hanover, the first one to leave home. Also, I Think Not is getting out well with La Bromontois. The field works into that first turn. Ackles Hanover has the lead as they race their way on into the backstretch. Ackles Hanover. La Bromontois is racing position to second. Then Ruby Two Shoes has gone off stride. Now Kicking Your Mass is racing fourth. And then Skyly Dream is back racing position fifth. Ackles Hanover leads as they race their way on to the opening quarter. Ackles Hanover passed the quarter, and it was recorded in 29 seconds. The inquiry sign is up pertaining to the start as well as breakers, and La Bromontois second. I Think Not's racing third. Then position fourth is Kicking Your Mass, the 4-5 favorite. Still has work to do from fourth, and Skyly Dream is fifth. Ackles Hanover leads it for Sammy Fillion. Advantage is 4. La Bromontois is racing second. I Think Not third. And Kicking Your Mass is still fourth. Halftime was recorded in 59-4. And they work their way on into the backstretch. Ackles Hanover leads still by 4 or 5 and is stretching out the cushion. Now it's out to about 5.5 or 6. La Bromontois is second. I Think Not third. Kicking Your Mass is on the inside and didn't move out, and Skyly Dream moves out and is racing fourth, and then Kicking Your Mass is racing fifth. They race on by 3/4. Ackles Hanover leads. Ackles Hanover's in front by about 6 or 7. La Bromontois racing second. Skyly Dream third. Then I Think Not and Kicking Your Mass is still fifth, and they went by 3/4 in 1:30-1. Ackles Hanover leads as the field is about to turn for home. Ackles Hanover, and then racing second, La Bromontois. Skyly Dream third, but Ackles Hanover is going to win this one under wraps, then finishing second, La Bromontois. Then it was Skyly Dream, and Kicking Your Mass came on to pick up fourth at 2 minutes and 2/5. The inquiry sign is up pertaining to the break of 8 Alexa Play Country before the start. On the board, we have a 3, 4, 5, 7, and the inquiry pertains to the start in number 8, Alexa Play Country. Back in front of us is number 3, Ackles Hanover, 3-year-old Cantab Hall Bay gelding. Owned by Determination, trained by Luc Blais. Sammy Fillion is the winning driver. It's the first win for Ackles Hanover. Mile was recorded in 2 minutes and 2/5. The inquiry sign is up pertaining to the start in number 8, Alexa Play Country. Fans note the judge's ruling that number 8 Alexa Play Country will be refunded, determined to have been outside of the Fair Start poll at the start of the race. Refund number 8 Alexa Play Country. The first race payouts number 3 Echoes Hanover, 490, 360, and 320. 4 Le Brumontois, 710 and 410. And 5 Skyly Dream, 520. The exactor at $28.90, the dollar try $75.75, the dollar super $214.65. Fans, this past Monday, lifelong harness racing industry participant Ken Hardy passed away suddenly at his home in Lucan, Ontario, at the age of 74. Hardy followed his father, Norm, into the business, earning his driver's license at the age of 18 and cutting his teeth at Western Fair Raceway. Over the years, he was associated with horses the likes of dual Hall of Famer Cathedra, Umbro Oliver, and Debbie Lynn Killeen. He won more than 2,700 races in his driving career. After retiring from on-track competition, Hardy served as the president of the Ontario Harness Horse Association from 2011 to 2019, while also serving on the executive. We now ask that you please pause for a moment's silence in memory of Ken Hardy. We thank you. Grand River Raceway and its horsemen and horsewomen would like to extend the deepest sympathies to the family and friends of Ken Hardy. Would Jamie Martin please call the charter? Jamie Martin, please call the charter. Fans noted race number 5, number 8, OK Jasmine, the driver GR Plot. Race 5, 8, OK Jasmine, GR Plot. Field for the second on parade 1, Chili and Toast. Out of fourth for Bud Sinclair and Lindsey Sinclair and Tom Strawn. Number 2, Rose Run, Why Not? Scott Young for Brian Lawrence. And 3 is coming, Fashion. Out of more for Pam Forkey and Triple S Equine. Number 4 is Trade Barrier, Alfie Carroll for Richard Carroll and Angela Carroll. And number 5 is moving to the top, Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 6, Massive Ovation, Anthony Hahn for James McCaig and Jan McCaig. Weischer. And number 7 is Allison Ann Hanover Marquette Soul for Chan Chan and Graham Hopkins and Peter Porter and Edsel Newton. The starters called the field for race number 2. It'll be Chili and Toast and Rose Run. Why Not on the inside? In the center, coming Fashion Trade Barrier, and moving to the top to the outside, Massive Ovation and Allison Ann Hanover. Field of 7, race number 2. It is post time. Field for the second race. At the start, Chili and Toast made an early break in stride, and also off early was Coming Fashion with a break, and they drive into the first turn. Rose Run Why Not on the inside, and on the outside is Massive Ovation, and now Massive Ovation is going to find the pocket on the back of Rose Run Why Not, and then racing third, moving to the top, then it is Trade Barrier, and Allison Ann Hanover is rolling fifth. They race on to the opening quarter. Rose Run Why Not, 1-2 on the board, has a lead of a length and a half over Massive Ovation, and moving to the top is third. Then it is Trade Barrier, racing position fourth as they race around the turn, and Allison Ann Hanover is fifth. That opening quarter was 28-2. The inquiry sign is up, pertaining to number 3 Coming Fashion at the start with that break before the start. Rose Run Why Not in full bloom, leads it right now by 2. Massive Ovation is second, moving to the top, has to pass 2 to get to the top, and they roll past the half in 58-2, and racing for this Trade Barrier. Then it is Allison Ann Hanover, and Chili and Toast after an early break is racing second from last. It is Rose Run Why Not, 1-2 favorite, lead of a length and 3/4. Massive Ovation is second, moving to the top is rolling third, and then it is Trade Barrier. Chili and Toast is popped out. We'll get the cover of Trade Barrier. On the inside, Allison Ann Hanover. They get by 3/4 in 1:29, and it is still Rose Run Why Not and Scott Young with the lead. Massive Ovation is staying with Rose Run Why Not, and is only a length and a half back. Then a gap of 3 or 4. Trade Barrier is dueling to take over third. From moving to the top, they turn for home. Rose Run Why Not on the inside. Massive Ovation trying to call a Rose Run Why Not. Rose Run Why Not. Massive Ovation. Massive Ovation wins it. That's Why Not. Rose Run Why Not was second. Trade Barrier third. And moving to the top was fourth. 159-1. Massive Ovation. Once again, fans, note the inquiry sign is up pertaining to the start and number 3 Coming Fashion. Coming back in front of us is the winner of race number 2. It's number 6, Massive Ovation, 4-year-old muscle mass big gelding owned by James McKeag and Jan McKeag. James McKeag, the trainer. Anthony Hahn is the winning driver. 4th win this year, 4th lifetime. Massive Ovation takes race number 2. And note the judge's ruling that number 3, Coming Fashion, will be refunded. Ruled to have been outside of the Fair Start poll. Refund 3, Coming Fashion. The second race payouts. Number 6, Massive Ovation. 1310, 410, 240, 2. Rose Run 1 Knot, 240, 210. 4 Trade Barrier, 240. $2 Exactor, $35. Dollar Try, 46.70. Dollar Super, 126.90. And the double of 3 and 6 pays $43.80, $2 ticket. Consolation double of 3 and 3, $5.10. Field for the third on parade. One is Thomas P2, Wayne Henry for Mark Wamp. Number 2 is Fortune Tellers K, Tyler Moore for Terry Gallant and Triple S Equine. Number 3 is Willie Wynn, Tyler Moore for Greg Price and Dominique DeSantis and Tom Jacobs. 4 is Petro Angel, Brett McDonough for Darrell Laver. And 5 is Dirt, Paul McKenzie for Paul Meegans and Saltwater Stable. Number 6 is Kane Gang, Colin Keller for John Yake Jr. and Chris Yake. Number 7 is Hot Fudge Sunday, Alfie Carroll for Richard Carroll and Angela Carroll. And 8 is Aren't We Lucky, Scotty Calder for George Henry and William Checkley. Let's get a look at this field for race number 3. It is a field of 8, and we're going to start with number 1, Thomas P2. And Thomas P2 is one with 3 wins on the year, 7 wins last year in just 14 starts. Now, look at the last race at Flamborough. It didn't go well, and then this one was scratched from the next start to sick. But I tell you, when Thomas P2 is right, he can be really dominant. And you do see this one racing very competitively against a class that would be similar to this one. I think Thomas P2 fits really nicely in here. If he's ready to rock, and post position 1 can fit him well, he's got gate speed. I love 5-1. That 5-1 is just because of the doubt with the sickness and that last start with the interference break. But Thomas P2, 5-1, offers really good value. I'm on Thomas P2. Number 5, Dirt, is one that's having a really good year. 8 top 2 finishes in 13 starts. Yes, the last race wasn't great, but Dirt is one that should have a good chance to bounce back. This one's had a couple of poor efforts in the last 3, one with a break and then that one last time out, but Dirt still overall, when you look at the season's body of work, 10 out of 13 in the top 3. Tough to not to think that Dirt will bounce back. Paul McKenzie for Paul Meegans is 5-2. Number 4, Petro Angel. Well, this is one that's 14 out of 21 in the top 3 on the year. Last raced at Sarnia. Well, the last 2 at Sarnia maybe doesn't quite compare with a couple of the others in terms of the overall recent speed. But I think that Petro Angel is one that, when you look at the season, has raced pretty well. And you do see this one winning May the 6th at London. Pretty strong-looking effort coming first up and winning. Petro Angel is 7-1. And one more is number 3, Willie Wynn, one that made some breaks last time out, a bunch of breaks, but just before that had 3 wins in 4 previous starts, has 4 wins on the year. Willie Wynn needs to stay flat here, and the recent win was at a lower level, but note this is the second start for Greg Price with Willie Wynn. Maybe you'll get him straightened out here. Tyler Bortham, Willie Wynn is the 6-5 favorite. And one more note, number 2, Fortune Tellers K. That is Robert Reed's top pick here. Tyler Moore for Terry Gallant, one that's got 3 wins on the year, and a dominant-looking win from post 7 at Clinton last race, coming first up and winning going away. Fortune Tellers K, 11-1. Gate is rolling for race number 3. Thomas P2, Fortune Tellers K on the inside. In the center, Willie Wynn, Petro Angel, and Dirt. To the outside, Kane Gang and Hot Fudge Sunday and Arch We Lucky. It's a field of 8 for race number 3. They're into the stretch drive. And Kane Gang with an early break. Fortune Tellers K and Thomas P2 leave out well. Dirt is into the front 3. Willie Wynn is racing 4th, and then it is Petro Angel and Hot Fudge Sunday and Arch We Lucky. Thomas P2 has P1 right now and leads right now Fortune Tellers K by a length and 3/4. Willie Wynn is 3rd. Then Dirt is 4th and 5th is Petro Angel. Then Hot Fudge Sunday and Arch We Lucky. Thomas P2 9 to 5 on the board leads as they race past the opening quarter. Fortune Tellers K is filling the pocket. Willie Wynn is going to come to the outside right now, and Dirt is racing 4th, and then it is back to Petro Angel and Hot Fudge Sunday and Arch We Lucky. Thomas P2 with the lead, but Willie Wynn is going to press the issue right now. It is Thomas P2 and Willie Wynn as they come off the turn. Fortune Tellers K rides the pocket, and then Dirt is 4th, and on the outside 5th is Petro Angel. And then it is back to Hot Fudge Sunday and Arch We Lucky. Thomas P2 rolls past the half in 59 and 2 off an opening quarter at 29 and 1, 30 and 1 second panel. Thomas P2, Willie Wynn on the outside, and then Fortune Tellers K is in the pocket, but Thomas P2 presses on, has a lead of a length and a half still. Willie Wynn on the outside, and then Fortune Tellers K is racing 3rd. And then it is Petro Angel and Dirt. Now kicking in a bit is Arch We Lucky. Arch We Lucky is coming now, and then a Hot Fudge Sunday. It is Thomas P2 trying to fend off Willie Wynn. And racing 3rd, Fortune Tellers K, and then Petro Angel. Now Thomas P2 starts to trot away on the field. 3/4 was 1:29 and 4. Thomas P2 has a lead of about 2 1/4. Willie Wynn is racing 2nd. Fortune Tellers K is 3rd. Thomas P2. Wayne Henry just a couple of light taps to keep this one rolling. Wins it comfortably by 3. Willie Wynn was 2nd. Then 3rd went to Fortune Tellers K, and then it was Hot Fudge Sunday. 1:59 and 1. Thomas P2 with P1 at the finish and all the way around. Coming back in front of us, the winner of race number 3, it's one Thomas P2, a 4-year-old Angus Hall Bay horse, owned by Mark Womp, trained by Wayne Henry, is also the winning driver It's the fourth win this year, 11th lifetime for Thomas P2. The third race payouts: 1, Thomas P2, 590, 340, 250, 3, Willie Win, 360, 250, and 2, Fortune Tellers K, 410, $2 exactor, 1390, dollar try, 3480, dollar super, 248.50. Fans noted race number 4, 2 claims, and number 2, Run Like Hill. Race 4, 2 claims entered, 2, Run Like Hill. Fans note in race number 5, we have single claims on 3, WC Kenzie Cookie, and number 6, Dixie Star. Race of 5 claims on 3 and 6. Field for the 4th race on parade. 1 Heineken Sealster, Dave Boughton for Don Lindsay and Glenn Lindsay. Number 2 is Run Like Hills, Samuel Filioff for Francis Guillemette. Two claims entered on 2 Run Like Hill. Number 3 is Polar Hall, Bruce Richardson for Kevin Davidson. Number 4 is Herb's Journey, Colin Kelly for Duncan Brewer and Michelle Brennan and Randall Urquhart. And number 5, Zach to the Max, Scott Coulter for Steve Coulter. And number 6 is Spun from Magic, Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Field of 6, race number 4, post time in a few minutes, and time to bring in Robert Reed Jr. Robert, you don't like my top pick in this race. You didn't like it last race. Thomas P. too, and you don't like my Run Like Hill in here, but you like Herb's Journey on top. You got to fill me in why.
Well, it's been a rough night so far for yours truly, Gary. But hey, Herb's Journey here. Preferred 3 last time, finished 3rd, and looking back in his last 3, hit the board in each of them, and facing tougher, in my opinion. Timel Houdini, Sicario, the Fixer. I'd bet any one of those horses in here, and I just think right now, I mean, he's a big overlay to me at 4-1 compared to the 2-5 of Run Like Hill. So I'm happy with that selection right now, but it's been tough sledding so far tonight.
Well, we'll see if we can get the sled turned around. Number 1, Heineken Sealster, Dave Frankie Boughton. This one made a break early last race and also shows an early break April the 2nd. So definitely might need to mosey out easily from post 1. But Heineken Sealster has 3 wins on the year.
Yeah, still one that I don't think is going to want to waste that pole position. I know that coming off a break, you're trained to think, well, you're looking for a flat line, but this one has speed. I think we're going to see him push out from the inside. And 11-1, another one that's going off at a bit of an overlay right now. Hey, classification-wise, he fits really well in here. It's just a matter of that break, and I think that's why his number is so high on the board. And even 2 back, post 6, went, got away, near the back and wasn't able to really do much. So I think this is an opportunity for Heineken Sealster to turn it around. 12-1 is a pretty big number.
Number 5, Zach to the Max, is one that's raced well in front of me in the past, but the recent form not quite as good. Zach to the Max, you think this one can turn things around and be a top 3 here?
I think he can. I think he's one that looks like he can certainly hit the ticket. 5 to 1, I think, is probably the right price. I wouldn't want to take anything less on him, that's for sure. But one that I think can, just kind of get off the gate and try to improve position throughout the mile. I think that, he's one that certainly isn't out of place in here. And, for me, more of a bottom player on the exact trifecta.
Number 2, Run Like Hill, your fourth choice. My top one, 2 claims in. Break last time out, post 7 at London. But with the 2 claims in, maybe that changes your thoughts on this one in terms of whether they're going to be all systems go.
Well, yeah, certainly there's no tomorrow, so there's no one looking for a flat line on Run Like Hill today. And look at last two back, he was really good. Obviously, from post 6 at London on May the 18th, and I certainly think is he capable of winning here, of course. But I thought he would take a lot of support. He's taking even more support than I expected right now at even money. A moment ago, he was 2 to 5. He's one that has tendency to make breaks, and for me personally, I like him more so in the condition claiming ranks. And this is an optional 15 claimer, and I think there's a couple in here that might, deserve more respect than he's getting right now. So more so for me, not a knock on the horse, just not willing to take a short price on him.
And there's a look at number 3, Polar Hall, who is one that I sometimes have trouble figuring because every once in a while he'll step up and race bigger than I thought he would, and then the last 2 races aren't good. But I'm at 30 to 1. I might be thinking about this one somewhere on the ticket.
Yeah, it's kind of a wild price on Polar Hall when you think about it, especially at this level. I mean, he's one that on his best day, can do in the preferred rank. So, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see him at that big of a number right now.
Well, it is a field of 6 for race number 4. Glad to have you back, Rob. We'll see if you can get things turned around here. But I've got Run Like Hill at even money, and you're on for Herb's Journey at 2 to 1, the second choice right now on the tote board. Heineken, Silster, and Run Like Hill on the inside of the center. Polar Hall, Herb's Journey. To the outside, Zach to the backs, and Spun from Magic. It is a field of 6. The fourth dash on a Wednesday night as we're gathered at the river. Here they come. The field for race number 4, Trotters gathering speed approaching the start. And off stride, Heineken Silter with an early break. Run Like Hill leaves out with Polar Hall, Zach to the backs, and then Herb's Journey and Spun from Magic. They work on around the turn. Run Like Hill on the inside, Polar Hall in the center, though. Polar Hall is going to come on and try to clear to the front. Zach to the backs on the outside, and Run Like Hill is on the inside third. And then racing fourth is Herb's Journey in front of Spun from Magic. Heineken Silter made an early break, and Polar Hall drives on 16 to 1 right now, has the lead for Bruce Richardson. Zach to the max is racing second. Opening quarter was 28 and 3. Run Like Hill is positioned third and in front of Herb's Journey, who's racing fourth. And now Run Like Hill angles to the outside. Herb's Journey is racing fourth, and Spun from Magic is fifth, and it is Polar Hall as they race off the turn. Here comes Run Like Hill now to challenge quickly. Zach to the max is on the inside, and now Herb's Journey has the cover of Run Like Hill and is advancing on the outside. Then racing fifth is Spun from Magic. Halftime was recorded in 59 and 1. And it is Polar Hall at 16 to 1 who still has the lead. Run Like Hill is second, and then Herb's Journey is looming on the back of Run Like Hill. And Zach to the max is dropped back to fourth, and Spun from Magic is fifth. It is still Polar Hall. Run Like Hill, though, is getting closer with every step, and now is alongside Polar Hall and now sticks ahead in front. It is Run Like Hill who's got a lead of about 3/4 of a length. Polar Hall is racing second. Herb's Journey is now coming on and takes over second and is bearing down quickly and Run Like Hill. 3/4 was 1:28 and 4, and it is Run Like Hill and Herb's Journey to duel. Herb's Journey comes on and gets a slim lead. Run Like Hill on the inside trying to fight back. It is Herb's Journey and Run Like Hill as they come on down the stretch drive. Herb's Journey with a lead on the outside. Herb's Journey and Run Like Hill. Herb's Journey victorious. Run Like Hill second. Spun from Magic third, and Polar Hall was fourth. Herb's Journey went at it with Run Like Hill, but got the job done. And actually, Herb's Journey driven down to 4 to 5 at the finish, Rob.
Yeah, the money came flying in late for Herb's Journey. Was excited, really with about a minute to post, he was still sitting at 5 to 2, 2 to 1, but down to 4 to 5 odds on. in the last couple of clicks, and it's a nice effort. Great drive by Colin Kelly there, and you really can't knock though the performance of Run Like Hill either. Though that was a gritty performance from that one, and just got beat by a better horse, but was clearly the best of the rest.
Well, I'm glad to see you get back in the win column now and got things rolling. And the top two we mentioned, they were the top two on the tote board. They raced very much like it. But yes, Colin Kelly gets the trip on the back of Run Like Hill, which is the perfect way to beat the other favorite, we'll call it, if you can get the trip on its back and then wear him down in the stretch after that one came first up.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of those ones where it looked like it might set up to be a bit of a battle, but I think Run Like Hill just he was obviously used a lot harder throughout the mile, and Spun from Magic actually came from the back of the bus to get third, and Polar Hall was one that we thought was an overlay on the board, and I mean he still kind of outraced his odds, but for a while there it looked like he might be one that might blow up the tote board.
Well, I was really surprised at those odds because, as we mentioned, Polar Hall actually fits with this group reasonably well, and he looked very much the part of it. But back in front of us is number 4, Herb's Journey, 6-year-old Angus Hall Brown gelding, owned by Michelle Brennan and Randall Urquhart. Duncan Brewer is the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning driver, third win this year, 14th lifetime for Herb's Journey, 158 and 4. The fourth race payouts for Herb's Journey, 370, 260, 240. 2, Run Like Hill, 350 and 410, and 6 Spun from Magic, 570. $2 exactor, $13, try, 60, $35 superfecta, 214.25. Field for race number 5 is on parade. 1 is Tater Tots, Paul McKenzie for Sue McKenzie. Number 2 is Talking Again, Tyler Borth for Bruce Goyde and Allison Hepburn and Michelle Bohr. Number 3 is W.C. Kenzie Cookie, Brett Madonna for Tyler Nostad and Blue Shoe Investments and Jordan Summer. Claim entered. Number 4 is Maura Mampo, Jason Ryan for John Kennedy and Ralph and Sandra Pitt. And 5 is Fly Santana, Colin Kelly for Avery Longstreet. Number 6, Dixie Star, Travis Henry for David O'Brien and Eric Rosine. Number 7 is As Brave as My Mama, Scott Calder for Gary Anderson. And number 8 is OK Jasmine, J.R. Plot for Stefan LaRock and Ken Roy Scaife and Ken Days. A field of 8 claims on 3 and 6, and J.R. Plot drives the 8. Let's get a look at this field for race number 5. And Robert, you are lone wolfing it here in the 5th race with number 3, W.C. Kenzie Cookie on top. I don't think...
A little bit of a...
Go ahead.
I was going to say a little bit of a surprise that I'm lone wolfing on this horse, but I guess 6-1 on the board right now.
Well, two claims, pardon me, a single claim, so maybe you are on the right track, but sell me. 9 wins this year, that certainly sells.
Yeah, she's 9 for 19. You know, she's hit the board 3 other times as well, and you can see that win streak in the middle of her lines there. She was dominant in those efforts, and then got beat, finished second by a neck. You throw out the line where she made a break in stride. She was second to Furiosa last time at Sarnia. It was overland for a bit of that journey. I thought it was one that we can look past as well. So I think at her best, she's certainly near the top of this field, and she draws towards the inside, and right now is an overlay, in my opinion, at 5-1.
Well, and I especially like the connections. Brent McDonald, Tyler Nostad, that's pretty strong in here. Number 2, Talking Again, is my top one, and it did take this one ahead of W.C. Kenzie Cook, who I have second. Another barn that I like, that of Bruce Goyde. Bruce has put up some substantial numbers this year in the win column, much as Tyler Nostad putting up big win numbers. Talking Again has gate speed, 8-1, value there.
Yeah, you would have saw this one at Flamborough last time. It was a decent enough effort. Sat the 2-hole, ended up finishing third. Did disappoint as the 2-5 favorite. Before that, went a long way in the lead before getting tired late. But one that draws inside here, has release speed, and that's always a good combination here at the River. Not sure why this horse is 9-1 on the board right now. It doesn't really make sense to me. I thought this horse would be more in the neighborhood of about 5-2.
Number 1, Tater Tots, Paul McKenzie. Paul's having a good training season and just keeps on driving. Wins racked up 9,000 about a month ago. Tater Tots is one that can belong in the top 3. We both have this one in the top 3.
Yeah, and this mare races well for Paul McKenzie. He ended up claiming her back, and that was a winner first start. Ended up getting her back 2 starts back, was third in that effort, and then came back to finish second last time at Georgian Downs. And I mean, rail control to work from. The horse doesn't have like blazing speed off the gate, but enough to get away well. And just one that I think you have to have in the exotics. I'm not sure if I would really take her as a win candidate, especially, 4-1 to me is probably about the right price on her. But yeah, one you have to have in the trifecta and superfecta.
Number 5, Fly Santana. Colin Kelly already with a win on the evening. And this is one that's coming in off of a win and beat Talking Again last race. Fly Santana was a winner in that start.
Yeah, winner last time for Fly Santana. Another one that right now I think is going off at an inflated price of 7-1. Strong winner on that occasion, went to the front. Might not be able to get to the lead as easy this time with a lot of speed on the inside of her. But I think right now we're seeing a lot of horses going off at inflated prices because Dixie Star is taking all the support at even money right now.
And that's where we have to go to. Just one final thought on Dixie Star. We both left this one out. Are we both wrong?
I don't know. I hope not. I'll be honest. I thought she was a peripheral player in here. I know that she is, claimed, so that's always something that is a good thing if you're looking to make a wager on her. But she's had the rail in her last 2. Now she goes out to post 6. So I can't get there to even money, Gary. I'm going to look elsewhere, and I'm happy with WC Kenzie Cookie at 4-1.
Well, we'll see how this fifth race unfolds as they are taking up their positions. Tater Tots talking again on the inside with WC Kenzie Cookie. In the center, Moramapo and Fly Santana. To the outside, Dixie Star, As Brave as My Mama, and OK Jasmine. It's a field of 8. It's race number 5 on a Wednesday night at the river, and it is post time. It's a field of 8 for race number 5. They're at the start of the rough, talking again in Tater Tots and Moramapo. Fly Santana, Dixie Star. WC Kenzie Cookie behind that first group of 5, and then it is back to As Brave as My Mama. And OK Jasmine. Tater Tots is off to an appealing start and leads it by 2. Talking again second. There goes Dixie Star, though, moving now. Dixie Star rushing up on the outside, wanting to clear Tater Tots for the front. Talking again is racing third. Moramapo is fourth. And then it is Fly Santana. WC Kenzie Cookie is sixth. The trailing pair As Brave as My Mama and OK Jasmine. Tater Tots and Paul McKenzie issuing the parking ticket to Travis Henry and Dixie Star. And then talking again, enjoying the view in the pocket. Moramapo is racing fourth, and then Fly Santana. WC Kenzie Cookie is still racing sixth as they race up towards the half. And then it is back to As Brave as My Mama and OK Jasmine. Tater Tots on past the half in 57-2 off at 27-4 opening quarter. It's Tater Tots. Dixie Star is caught on the outside. Talking again is getting the trip. And then racing on the inside fourth is Moramapo. Fly Santana fifth. WC Kenzie Cookie is part of the outer flow and is taking a look to the outside. That is Brave as My Mama and OK Jasmine. It is still Tater Tots. Tater Tots talking again. Now from the backfield, WC Kenzie Cookie is out 4 wide, but it is Tater Tots talking again. WC Kenzie Cookie 4 wide and charging. Dixie Star center of the track, and then Fly Santana. Then it is back to Moramapo and OK Jasmine, and As Brave as My Mama. It is Tater Tots. WC Kenzie Cookie has got a tough trip, but is right there now. After going 4 wide, now is in the 2 wide path and trying to gun down Tater Tots. It is now WC Kenzie Cookie and Tater Tots as they come on to the finish. WC Kenzie Cookie. Tater Tots was second, then third is between Moramapo and OK Jasmine, but WC Kenzie Cookie, wow, Rob.
Yeah, that was an impressive move that you do not see very often at the river, at least one that doesn't usually work out. 4 wide around the final turn, and I thought maybe that was just going to be too much of a hill for her to climb, but she just kept on coming on determinedly, and it was a solid effort from WC Kenzie Cookie, much like those wins that she had. They were on the front end, but she showed a lot of determination in those ones when she was streaking for this barn, and nice victory there at 7-2, Gary.
And Tater Tots raced very well. I mean, got caught by one that was amazingly game. Tater Tots at 2-1 finishing second.
Yeah, that was a real nice effort from Tater Tots. Paul McKenzie made up his mind. He wanted the front end, and that's what he got. And she went a long way on the lead, and she got back down to 2-1 in the late stages there, and was a solid second.
Yeah, number 2 talking again. My top one had the perfect trip and just didn't have it at all.
No, I was kind of surprised. I thought on the turn from home that one might make some noise in the stretch, but maybe next time.
And we also get a nice little ticket because we have 4 Moramapo at 21-1, third, and then number 8 OK Jasmine comes flying late with J.R. Plot to pick up a share. So, although the top 2 were very gettable, and you got the winner. After that, 3-1-8 for actually OK Jasmine gets a third, so 60-1 and then 21-1. That's still going to be a decent ticket, even though, and 7-2. WC Kenzie Cookie held at value.
Yeah, 7-2 to me is just a wild price on this horse. I thought honestly she'd be sub 2-1 in here. I thought that she was kind of in great form and then made a break and decent effort last time. She goes out tonight, makes a massive move to get the job done. So 7-2. Congrats to her backers and the connections.
It's going to be a very nice ticket for somebody who has 3-1-8-4. Back in front of us, number 3, W.C. Kenzie Cookie, an 8-year-old camshaft Hanover Bay mare owned by Blue Shoe Investments and Jordan Summer. Tyler Nostat is the trainer. Brett McDonald, the winning driver, 10th win on the year, 34th lifetime. W.C. Kenzie Cookie. The fifth race payouts 3 WC Kenzie Cookie. 940, 320, $3. 1 Tater Tots, 280, 270. And 8 OK Jasmine, 1330. $2 exactor, $25. Dollar try, 240, 140. Dollar super, 1570, 330. And the dollar pick 5 of 5, 997.30. Field 4, race number 6 is on parade. 1, Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. J.R. Plot drives and trains and owns. Number 2, Big Bang Boom. Tyler Moore for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. And 3 is Yannick Seelster, Scott Calder for Ted McDonnell and Leonard Gamble. And number 4, DM John Wick, Dave Boughton for Don Lindsay and Andrea Lindsay. Number 5 is Major Ace, Ryan DeRoche for Laura Toscani. Number 6, Global Crush, Tyler Borth for Alan Shelton. And number 7 is Bravado Seelster, Anthony Hunt for Christina Soundy. And number 8 is Don't Write Me Out, Brett McDonough for Lane Reed. Field of 8, race 6, featuring the Super High 5. We'll bring in Robert Reed Jr. And Robert, before we get to the 6th race, congratulations for lone wolfing at last race and scoring with W.C. Kenzie Cookie. And also, just to note that you're lone wolfing it again here in the 6th.
Well, there you go. I love that. That's amazing. And look at that. So we get everything sorted. I come on, and I'm 2 for 2 now, right? After starting off the night horribly.
Yeah, we're still going to have to punish you for being late, though.
Okay, that's fair.
But number 2, Big Bang Boom. You expect this one not to be late at the finish, but to be in front. Sell us on your lone wolf effort here as well.
I just love the drop down in class. Now was the 3,500 last 3 in each of his last 2 and 2 back. Tried to go all the way on the front end. Got tired late. Still finished a decent 4th. Just had a good trip last time to finish 5th. But this is, to me, a much easier group. And I think you look at all those ones at the first quarter for this horse, and I think we're going to see him flying early again. And I think he might be able to go the distance against this group. 5-2 on the board right now. That's not a bad price on a horse that I think should be around that number or even a bit less.
Now, notice all the handicappers are all over the place, so everyone's kind of got a different idea. Number 4, DM John Wick is the favorite, Dave Frankie Boughton. But, took a lot of time off and hasn't really got it going yet this year.
Yeah, I thought the effort was okay last time. He's missed a week in between starts since then, but so has Big Bang Boom. And that was a pretty soft group, though. Numbers of 1,000 last 3. So I'm not sure how it stacks up against this one. I think he has every right to be right there. He was off a month going into that effort. But again, 2-1 for me to be too short of a price. I think he should be slightly higher than my top selection, the 2, Big Bang Boom.
Number 3, Yannick Seelster is left at 8-1, your third choice, one that makes a first start on the year.
Yeah, first start also for trainer Ted McDonnell, and I just think this horse, the qualifier on May 27th looks pretty intriguing. It blew the field away, and 57-01's not a bad time there. Then obviously against much tougher the Greek Freak, he's a control itty bitty last time. Couldn't go with those ones, but still was timed individually in 155-1. So 7-1 on the board right now, one that's getting left alone, and I think probably a bit of an overlay, but might need the start.
Number 2, Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. A lot of believers at 2-1 right now. And by the way, of course, that missing line from June the 6th, we didn't race on the 6th, but we'll see if Don't Believe Me, Just Watch is going to live up to the belief that's on the board right now.
Yeah, I think that Don't Believe Me, Just Watch is an intriguing one. I kind of just said bottom end of the superfecta for me, or the high 5 in this race, I should say. 2-1, I think, is a bit of an underlay, even with that rail control. I do think this horse will try to get away well off the gate. You don't see much speed on paper there, but this horse can leave out when roused.
And I took number 5, Major Ace. Talk about a class drop. That's a substantial class drop, and 53-4 at Flamborough is a pretty good time.
Yeah, I think so. One for me that I think that, again, bottom end of the high 5 for me. I think maybe a 4th or 5th spot for Major Ace for me. But you're on Global Crush here, aren't you, Gary?
No, I thought that I'm on Major Ace, I believe.
Oh, Major Ace. Okay. Someone's on, maybe Conley's on Global Crush at 35-1.
Yes, everybody's kind of going their own direction, and you are lone wolfing it on 2, Big Bang Boom, and I'm alone on 5, Major Ace. We'll see how this turns out, but they're taking up their positions. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, and Big Bang Boom, and Yannick Seelster on the inside of the center. DM John Wick and Major Ace to the outside. Global Crush, Bravado Seelster, and Don't Write Me Out. It is a field of 8 for race number 6 Here they come. Giddy up. It's a field of 8 for the 6th race, and Big Bang Boom's going to lead with Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, and Major Ace on the outside as part of the early action. Yannick Silster, DM John Wick, and then it is Global Crush and Bravado Silster, and Don't Write Me Out is trailing the field. Big Bang Boom has got the early lead. Major Ace is still pressing on the outside, though. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch is racing third. Then it is back to Yannick Silster and DM Joanwick, and then Global Crush, Bravado Silster, and Don't Write Me Out. And Major Ace now wants the ace and is going to clear to the front over Big Bang Boom. The opening quarter was recorded in 28 and 2. Major Ace. Big Bang Boom is racing, popping right back out now, wanting to reclaim the front. Big Bang Boom looking to reclaim the lead for Major Ace, who's going to be sitting in the pocket, and Don't Believe Me, Just Watch pop so quickly. Then Yannick Silster is racing now, spotted second over. Then Global Crush and DM Joanwick. Then it is back to Bravado Silster and Don't Write Me Out. Big Bang Boom moves boldly on a lead of a length and 3/4, on past the half in 58 seconds, and they work their way on into the backstretch, and it is Big Bang Boom who's got a lead of a length and 3/4. Major Ace is there in the pocket still. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch third. Yannick Silster is rolling fourth, and then Global Crush and DM Joanwick, and then Bravado Silster. DM Joanwick is out 3 wide and coming. Back trailing Don't Write Me Out. It is Big Bang Boom, and now popping out goes Major Ace. Major Ace is dueling with Big Bang Boom, and Major Ace has taken over. Big Bang Boom on the inside, those tries to fight back. And then to the outside, 3 wide is DM Joanwick. It is Major Ace and DM Joanwick. And on the inside, Big Bang Boom. And then it is Yannick Silster and Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, and Bravado Silster. On down the stretch, they come. DM Joanwick and Major Ace. Major Ace on the inside is going to win. Major Ace and DM Joanwick. And then it was Don't Believe Me, Just Watch and Yannick Silster. 157 and 2. Race number 6 to number 5, Major Ace. Robert.
Top selection for Gary Guy at 6-1. Nice call, sir. Nice call.
Lone wolfing it. You know what I think we need?
What's that?
I just had to do it again. Sorry about that.
That's awesome. No, that's a nice touch there. Look at Major Ace, big effort from that one, and I thought DM Joanwick was going to get the better of that one in the stretch, but was not going to happen. Game effort from Major Ace, and 5-2 in the morning line, and up to 6-1. That's a great number on that horse.
And number 2, Big Bang Boom, certainly raced well, but then tailed off in the late going. Wasn't able to stick into the top 4.
Yeah, didn't have much to offer in the late stages there. I thought he'd be able to go further on the lead that time around. And listen, Tyler Moore did everything right. That's all I wanted to see was him on the point. Just didn't have it tonight.
Yeah, and also number 3, Yannick Silster, who is on the board at 4-1. There was some money was pretty well spread on the inside 5, and they are 4 of those 5 are the ones that got onto the board. So the fans did have the right idea. This money was spread pretty evenly. Look at that: 6-1, 2-1, 2-1, and 4-1 for a top 4. It should be a decent superfecta.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, when you add the 8 to the end of it there, and the high 5 at 35-1. You get those inside numbers, but you just got to throw one bomb from the outside, and usually gives you a nice payout. Of course, 6-1 on top doesn't hurt either. Yannick Silster, though, yeah, I'll definitely look at that one next time after he's got that one star under his belt after a long layoff.
Well, coming back in front of us is number 5, Major Ace, a 4-year-old Art Major Bay gelding, owned and trained by Laura Toscani. Ryan DeRoche, Baby Shark with the winning drive. It's the 5th win this year and the 7th lifetime for Major Ace. 157 and 2. The sixth race payouts. Number 5, Major Ace, 1530, 620, 394. DM John Wick, 350 and 220. And 1, Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, $2.80. $2 exactor, 51.70. Dollar try was 77.20. Dollar win for it, 271.95. The Note that pick 444, 271.95, and the dollar high five, 1480.20. Field for the seventh on parade. One, Uber Hanover, Colin Kelleher, Cameron McQueen. Number two, Lord and Legend, Samuel Fillion for Steve Labonte and Aaron McCleary. And three on cruise control, Jason Ryan for GRR Demers and Triple S Equine. Four is Simon Said, Tyler Barth for Bruce Guide and Michelle Bohr. Five is Rough Trade, Travis Henry for Kayla Hendry. Six is Our Thinking Monster, Brent Madonna for Mitchell Tierney and Triple S Equine. And number seven is Miramichi David, Scott Coulter for Sean Hyatt and Kyle Stretch. Field of seven, race number seven. It starts the late pick four. We're going to bring in Robert Reed Jr. to talk about Uber Hanover. Well, we're not lone wolfing it at all here. We're both together with Uber Hanover. I think this one from the inside should be able to eat well, Uber Hanover.
Yeah, actually, you know what? We just had Uber Eats show up here, Gary. That's maybe that's a good sign. Uber Hanover, yeah, two starts for Cameron McQueen, and was an easy winner at Dresden two back, and then second last time to Nate's Bucky. So I just think this is a great spot for Uber Hanover. Rail control, early speed. Right now, 5-2. If that price holds, that's a real nice number on Uber Hanover.
Yeah, this one's raced really well at Flamborough. 9 out of 19 in the top two. And also the barn is having a really good year. Colin Kelly from the inside. Love it. I don't expect 5-2. Number 3 on cruise control, though, is one that did cruise in a bottom class at Flamborough last race. Steps up a level, but that speed of 55-4 actually is faster than Uber Hanover's last race, second place finish.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of people might be shying away from this one, seeing the hike upwards in class, but that was a real solid effort from post 5 at Flamborough Downs, and on cruise control has won in much tougher spots than this, 24 career victories, 162,000 in the bank. So I think that, if this one finds his best stride, he can be right there at the finish. So 5-1 on cruise control right now is probably about the right price, maybe a shade or two higher than I expected.
It is tough to leave number 4, Simon Said, off of the exactor ticket. 39 wins, 5 out of 10 in the top two on the year, including last time out. And Bruce Goit's top two numbers this year are outstanding. Simon Said, even money.
And Simon Said, 5 of his last 6 in the top two. Granted, those 3 victories are in the furthest races away in that stretch, and he's finished second last time, though. It was a decent runner-up finish. He was bet down to favoritism on that occasion. He's bet down to favoritism right now. I can't really get there at 6-5 on Simon Said. I looked at him as more of a on-the-ticket type player. And right now, yeah, just much too short for my liking.
And number 2, Lord and Legend. He used this one for 4th. Now look at Scratched Vet Sick. That line, May the 28th, might scare some people. But we already had a winner this evening that came in off of a Scratch Vet Sick and won. And this one was dominant at Sarnia, the May 21st start.
Yeah, he absolutely crushed his competition on that occasion. Now, the interesting thing about Lord and Legend is kind of a funky going horse at Western Fair, so I'm not sure how he's going to handle it here at the River. But 17-1, I think he's definitely one you is worth using on the bottom end of the exotics. First start for Steve Labonte now, and I think that this horse has the ability to leave out well and maybe get a piece fit. My concern would be I didn't always like the way that he got around Western Fair.
And the one that I used on the bottom was number 6, Our Thinking Monster, Brent Madonna for Mitchell Tierney. The last couple races not good, but also this is one that drops further in class. Only 2 races ago was in that 13,000 claiming handicap, so a 7th you can understand, but was really competitive above this class 3 races back.
Yeah, and it's a, like you said, significant drop in class, 11-1 on the board right now. One that I could certainly get to in the bottom end of the trifecta and super. But, I'm going to stick with our top choice here, Gary. Uber Hanover down to 8-5 now, but now co-favorites with Simon Said, but we'll see where he finishes off. Hopefully he doesn't drop too low.
Well, both of us think that Uber Hanover will eat this field. We're going to have some Uber Eats here, we believe, in the 7th, but fans are also with 4. Simon Said at 8-5. We'll see how it plays out in the seventh race. Uber Hanover, Lord and Legend on the inside. On cruise control, Simon Said, and Rough Trade in the center. Our Thinking Monster, Miramichi David on the outside. Field of 7, and it's race number 7. It is post time. Here they come. The field for the 7th race, gathering speed, approaching the start. And it is on cruise control and Uber Hanover, the first couple to drive. And then Simon Said and Lord and Legend. But Uber Hanover insisting on the lead on the inside. On cruise control. Now is forced into the pocket. Simon Said is third. Racing fourth as they work their way on into the backstretch is Lord and Legend in front of Rough Trade. And then our Thinking Monster and Miramichi David. But Uber Hanover is now the 4-5 favorite and leads on up to the opening quarter over on cruise control. That lead for Colin Kelly and Uber Hanover is right now a length and 3/4 on cruise control second. Simon Said third. Field is spread out. Then racing position fourth is Lord and Legend and Rough Trade and our Thinking Monster and Miramichi David. Uber Hanover off an opening quarter of 28-1 continues to truck on merrily on the lead. Uber Hanover and Colin Kelly leads it by 2. On cruise control is racing second, and then it is Simon Said, who's currently about 4.5 lengths off the lead, and then Lord and Legend. Our Thinking Monster now starts to move a bit on the outside. Then it is back to Rough Trade and Miramichi David. Uber Hanover takes them into the backstretch of off that 57.5 and a 29-second panel. Uber Hanover on cruise control is there in the pocket. Simon Said third, and then fourth is Lord and Legend. Popping out from third now comes Simon Said. Lord and Legend is fourth, and then it is our Thinking Monster and Rough Trade and Miramichi David. But Uber Hanover getting a couple of taps from Colin Kelly and continues on. But here comes Simon Said now. And Simon Said is wheeled up and is only about a half length off the lead. It is Uber Hanover and Simon Said. As the field turns for home, Uber Hanover trying to fend off Simon Said. And on the inside on cruise control, Uber Hanover, Simon Said. They're going to duel at the finish. Simon Said just came by Uber Hanover late. And then it was Lord and Legend. And on cruise control, well, Simon Said, 156-4, was the second choice on the board and got by the favorite Uber Hanover as the favorite goes down, Rob.
Yeah, and we were right. Uber Hanover took all the late money, got hammered down to 4-5. Simon Said went up to 2-1. I thought Uber Hanover was home. I really did. I didn't think he was going to get beat off that trip, but Simon Said gritty effort, first over, grinded Uber Hanover down and got up at the finish.
Yeah, you might have liked to see maybe a bit of a second panel breather. It was 29 after a 28-1 opening quarter, but still Uber Hanover had things his own way.
Yeah, he really didn't have much of an excuse when all is said and done. I mean, again, though, but Simon Said gave a pretty good effort to get there. So it's not like he raced bad. It's just that he got beat by one that was a bit better tonight. And it was a nice effort for Simon Said to, go from getting beat on the front end last time to winning first over this time around.
And also Simon Said is a classy one. That's the 40th career win. And as I mentioned, Bruce Squide has been putting up some strong numbers as well this year. So it's certainly no shocker at all that Simon Said would win. 2-1 on the board tells you that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this horse was usable. It was interesting. You're looking to go another direction on one in the Uber Hanover when he was a bigger price and ends up being the shorter one. But I mean, listen, I still liked him better in there. And Simon Said at 2-1. I guess that's probably about the right number on him. I thought he'd be about 5-2. But Lord and Legend ended up finishing third at 20-1. And we see the inside four finishing in the superfecta here, Gary.
Yeah, and Lord and Legend did not get respect because of probably the scratch vet sick, but the dominant effort at Sarnia, 20-1, and manages to score third to help the price. 4-1-2-3 is the top four. Coming back in front of us is number 4, Simon Said. Simon Said is a 10-year-old American Ideal bay gelding owned by Michelle Bohr. Bruce Squide is the trainer. And Tyler Borth, the winning driver. It's the 4th win this year, 40th lifetime for Simon Said. The seventh race payouts for Simon Said 610 to 72.30. One Uber Hanover pays 210 and 220, and two Lord and Legend $4. Dollar pick three of three is 92.65. $2 exactor $11. Dollar try 40.65. The dollar super 88.05. Field for race number 8 is on parade. 1, Missy's Magic Man, Jason Ryan for Ron Corbett. Number 2, Magic's Wizard, GRR Plot for Anthony Beaton and Don Lesheed. Number 4 is Bastiano, Dave Boughton for Don Lindsay and Bernie Barr. And number 5 is Royal Tyrone, Scott Young for Rod Boyd. Number 6, Lucky Rascal, Colin Kelly for Peter Brickman and Aaron Swainson Brickman. And number 7 is As You Car, Scott Calder for Mariel Enberg. Let's get a look at this field for race number 8. It is a field of 6. And Robert, number 4, Bastiano, getting all the love on the board at 2-5, despite that last race not being great, but in tougher. Look all the way back last year, October 21st. If you want a clue that this one is better than those last lines, you see this one racing in a preferred 2 class was 7-1 on the board against the likes of Power and Grace and Wild and Crazy Guy and Esquire. He really fits well in here.
Yeah, he definitely does. And this is 4th start back off a layoff. And that last effort, is actually, it was better than it looks on paper. As hard as that might be to believe, he got away 4th. He got shuffled back, kind of had a wall of horses in front of him on the turn for home, and really couldn't make up any ground in the stretch before finishing 7th. So it really wasn't as bad as it looks on paper. The effort before that was decent to finish 3rd, and I think he just lays over this field. But the question is, what price are you willing to take? Because he's definitely going to go off as an odds-on favorite.
And 3rd, Decina Magician and Willie or Won't He. If those two were in here, they would be probably 1-5 on the board.
Yeah, definitely. This is a monstrous drop for Bastiano, and he's a 24-time winner. Nearly 170,000 in the bank. So he looks great on the track right now. Again, it's just a matter of him going out there and conducting his business. And, he likes to race on the front end. I think that's where we're going to see him tonight.
Now, number 1, Missy's Magic Man made a break at Flamborough 2 races ago. That was after dropping from Condition Company at Mohawk. But last race, solid, closed well, good effort.
And he looks smart on the track as well. Looks good out there, right there with Jason Ryan aboard. And pole position to work from, and one that certainly fits well with this group. You only missed by a head last time, and will likely be pushing out for position. This horse does have speed off the gate. Could see this horse hitting the 2-hole to Bastiano with the best chance, to beat him. I think that there's certainly a margin between the two class-wise. And likely the 4-1 exacta is where most of us has landed anyways as the handicappers here at Grand River, and I think that's the most likely result.
Number 2, Magic's Wizard. Those last 3 lines could definitely scare you away, but a much better post position here.
Yeah, definitely. You look at 2 trailing posts. I mean, that's a tough spot for any trotter. And the 7-hole is one where, sometimes you can just cross it off the page. I mean, he got bet down to 9-1 from that spot in that class. So I think you kind of look at this horse and take his lines with a grain of salt. I think he's better than what he's been showing. He's over 14 in the season. Does he break through the victory in here? I don't think so, but can he hit the ticket? Yeah, I do.
Well, and he was good just before those last 3, and you see finishing 3rd to Caviar's Triumph back 5 races ago. Good measuring stick. Magic's Wizard is 8-1 on the board. And one more, number 7, As You Car, is one with a fair amount of back class, but also one that comes in with poor recent form, has to deal with an outside post, but is dropping.
Yeah, dropping down. He gets a little bit of help with the scratch as well, so slides in one spot now. Post 6, still the outermost post in the contest. The drop in class should certainly help Azucar here to a better result, I would think. And I think that one that certainly figures against this group. If he had an inside post, I'd probably have him ranked higher. But for me, he's on the bottom end of my superfecta.
And number 5, Royal Tyrone, is 22-1 on the board, and yet is one that you do see back March the 13th racing in a class tougher than here, finishing 2nd, beaten 2.5 to Thomas P2. We saw Thomas P2 win earlier this evening.
Yeah, he's an interesting one because he won an OSS Gold event in the 2nd start of his career and looked like he was bound for great things, and kind of has been up and down since then with just 2 lifetime victories and 30 starts. I can't see him tonight, but hey, at 23-1, horses like that are always worth a flyer.
Well, right now you're not getting a price on number 4 Bastiano, 3 to 5 on the board, and the fans have agreed with Missy's Magic Man as the second choice at 2 to 1. We'll see how it plays out. Missy's Magic Man, Magic's Wizard on the inside. In the center, Bastiano and Royal Tyrone. On the outside, Lucky Rascal and Azucar. It is a field of 6, and it is race number 8. Field for the 8th race is at the top of the stretch, and here they come. Field for the 8th race is at the start of the rough, and Bastiano will come out well. Missy's Magic Man, Lucky Rascal, and then it is Magic's Wizard, Royal Tyrone, and Azucar trails the field. Bastiano and Dave Frankie Boughton makes the lead over Missy's Magic Man, Lucky Rascal trotting along in third. Then it is Magic's Wizard, and back to Royal Tyrone, and Azucar is trailing the field. Bastiano at 3 to 5 of the board has the lead at the opening quarter. In front by 3. Missy's Magic Man second. Opening quarter was 29-1. Lucky Rascal third. Magic's Wizard fourth, and then it is Royal Tyrone and Azucar. But Bastiano has got a lead of a couple of lengths as they race off the turn. Now Dave Boughton trying to rate Bastiano on the lead, looking for his second panel breather off that opening quarter of 29-1. Missy's Magic Man is getting the trip, and Lucky Rascal is third. Then fourth is Magic's Wizard, trailing pair Royal Tyrone to the inside and Azucar to the outside. Halftime was 1 minute and 1/5, a 31-second panel for Bastiano, who takes them on down the backstretch for the second and final time. Missy's Magic Man now is 2.5 lengths in arrears, and Lucky Rascal third. Magic's Wizard, Azucar is moving up on the outside a bit, and then Royal Tyrone. But Bastiano right now is looking like the 3 to 5 favorite as they race on to 3/4. Missy's Magic Man second, trying to close the gap, is about 3 1/4 back. Then a gap of 5 or 6. Lucky Rascal, Magic's Wizard, Azucar, and off stride goes Royal Tyrone. And they race to the top of the stretch off 3/4 of 129, and a 28-4 third panel by Bastiano as they come on down the stretch by Bastiano. Missy's Magic Man. Bastiano is going to win, but Missy's Magic Man was a very game second, beating a length and a half. Lucky Rascal third, and then fourth was Azucar. Mile of 158, a 57-4 back half for Bastiano. Tough to get by one with that kind of second half speed off of that first half of 1:01.
Yeah, and we thought he laid over the field in there, and in the end he did. Yeah, Missy's Magic Man did well to, to close up the margin, in the late stages there. But Bastiano was much the best, and you can see that right off the gate, the way he trotted out to the lead. 3 to 5 in the end. I mean, still odds on, but actually a higher price than I expected. I thought he might be of the 1 to 5 variety.
And then Lucky Rascal is the only one that we didn't talk about, is the one that managed to finish third in this spot, as we see just the slow motion right there at the finish. And there rolls the 6 on by, and it looks like 7 Azucar gets onto the bottom of the ticket.
Yeah, second start back off a lengthy layout for Lucky Rascal, and a good effort. I mean, it was a long way back, obviously, in the show spot, but did well to hold off Azucar and Magic's Wizard. Royal Tyrone was actually gearing up, making a big move, it looked like. I thought he might actually come around them to get third, but it made a break in stride.
Well, the race went to kind of the way we thought with the top two. 4-1, the exactor price is probably not going to pay very much, but we've had some favorites go down this evening, but not this one. Bastiano, Missy's Magic Man, the top two. And as expected in race number 8, Bastiano will be back in front of us in just a moment. Coming back in front of us, the winner of race number 8, it's number 4, Bastiano. An 8-year-old Angus Hall Brown gelding. Owned by Bernie Barr, trained by Don Lindsay. First win this year, 25th lifetime for Bastiano. The winning drive to Dave Frankie Boughton. The 8th race payouts. Number 4, Bastiano, 330 230 210. For Missy's Magic Man, 210 210. 6 Lucky Rascal, 310. $2 exactor, 450. Dollar try, 1435. Dollar super, 5365. Field 4, race number 9 on parade 1. Keep watching. Anthony Hahn from Mitchell Tierney and Robert and Ron Woodburn. Number 2 is Stargazing Cruiser Nick Boyd for James Dean. And 3 is Tanzanian Colin Kelly for Joe Squires and Bobby Weinhold Harris. 4 is Rosella, Brent Donover, Daryl Laver, and Brooke Kubek, and Leanne Davidson. Number 6 is Blossom on the Beach, Scott Coulter for Paul Coulter. Number 7, Stalbridge Drama, Ryan Rush for Jared Mann. And 8 is Southwind Bayou, Tyler Moore for Tyler Nostad and Francois Morin. Field of 7, race number 9. Let's get a look at this field. And Robert, you are lone wolfing it with Tanzanian 12-1. You're going to have to sell me.
Well, you know what? There it is again. I've been chasing this beautiful roan mare, and you know what? I was actually corrected at the raceway at Western Fair. Her name is Tanzanian, as someone from Tanzania. So that's her name, and I've been on her quite a bit. Last 3 starts, I've actually been on her bandwagon. I thought that she raced well in her first start for this barn, then went overland her next start, and then finished 3rd last time. I just think, you know what, she's warming up to a victory. 14-1 on the board, looks good on the track. I mean, I thought this race was one of the most wide-open races of the night, so I'd rather be on the side of a price, Gary.
Now, you know, in the past we joked that I don't normally cheer for you, but at 14, now 11-1, I'm all in. I'm cheering for you. Number 4, Rosella, is one that, you know, I've liked a lot in the past. This is a pretty decent mare, and 5 wins last year. That last race made a break. We'll see if Rosella can race back to the fine form she was showing just before that.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that one out, right? Because if you look at everything else she's done recently, it's been fantastic. And one of the common denominators there is the barn of Daryl Laver. She races fantastic for this outfit, and she's always been one that has success out of his barn. So I'm more than happy to say, you know what, I'm going to forgive her for last time. And another one on the board that's 8-1. I think a huge overlay. So I know that there's others in here that, you know, might look a little more appealing maybe in their past performances, but Rosella can raise her game to this level. I'm confident of it, and I'm pretty sure the connections, would think that's a pretty big overlay as well.
Number 1, Keep Watching. If you look back, the last 2 times this one raced from post 1, one was a first up trip and a very game effort, and the other one was a win on top by 5 lengths in 57-4 at London back in mid-April. Keep Watching is one you better not ignore in here.
Yeah, I think she's certainly one with a chance. And 9-2, now 5-1 is a good number on Keep Watching. I mean, you said it. She gets that all-important pole position here at the river, and she's one that, you know, figures to be right there with this group. So, again, I was thinking she'd be more in the neighborhood of about 3-1, so 2 points higher. Not a bad price on Keep Watching.
The price that is a bad price is number 6, Blossom on the Beach. I didn't see this one being the favorite at even money. And look, the year is good. 13 out of 18 in the top 3. The last race, not great at London, but still 56-4. But finished 5th in a race that your Tanzanian was 3rd and much closer. Blossom on the Beach, I don't know, like 4-5.
Yeah, the price is too short for my liking. Like I said, I looked at this race, Gary, and this was the one I struggled with the most. And I mean, I ended up landing on 2 horses that I'm certainly fond of, Tanzanian and Rosella, but also horses that I think are certainly good enough to get the job done in here and have been racing good enough that with their posts that they get to work from tonight can be right there at the finish. So I wouldn't want to take a short price on anyone in here.
And one more maybe just to touch on is number 7, Stonebridge Drama, because this is one that has 6 wins on the year, 9 out of 20 in the top 2. And certainly that last race also at Flamborough was a decent effort, 56-4. Stonebridge Drama, 9-1. Maybe that's one also a flyer, 10-1 at a price.
Yeah, I don't mind so much drama in here either, and it's interesting because the 6, 7, and 8 I thought would all take support, and the only one in that group right now that's taking significant support is the 6 Blossom on the Beach, and the one that I thought might be able to fare the best from an outside post was the 7 Stonebridge Drama, and she's the one getting left alone on the board right now at 12-1. So this is one of those ones where if I'm wrong, I'll just dust it off and say, well, at least I went down with some prices, and if you're right, you can really score a big ticket.
By the way, one more quick late comment. Thanks for not cluing me in that it's Tanzanian and just leaving that so that I can call the post braid wrong and the first time I say them. I really appreciate the bud.
Sorry, Gary. Next time I'll hit you up beforehand.
Okay, thank you very much. Field for ninth race taking up positions, and it is Keep Watching and Stargazing Cruiser on the inside, Tanzanian and Rosella and Blossom on the Beach in the center. To the outside, Stonebridge Drama, Southwind, Bayou. It's a field of 7 for the ninth race. They're at the top of the stretch. Here they come. It's a field of 7 for the ninth race. They're at the start of the rough. Tanzanian is leaving out with Blossom on the Beach and Stonebridge Drama and Southwind Bayou. Then it is back to Keep Watching on the inside. And then now further back we go to Rosella. And then we've got Stargazing Cruiser, who is back trailing the field, but they work their way into the backstretch. And Blossom on the Beach has got the front, but still driving. Stonebridge Drama on the outside at 8-1 wants to try to clear to the front. And Stonebridge Drama from post position 6 is going to make the lead. And then coming back around Blossom on the Beach, Tanzanian is racing third. Then Southwind Bayou and Keep Watching Rosella. And Stargazing Cruiser is trailing the field. It is Blossom on the Beach with the lead. And Stonebridge Drama filling the pocket. Here comes Southwind Bayou on the outside now. And Keep Watching is up and moving on the outside. Tanzanian is on the inside, about 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then it is Rosella and Stargazing Cruiser, Blossom on the Beach, and Southwind Bayou off a half of 58-1 and a 28-second opening quarter. And it is Blossom on the Beach who's got the lead as they race into the backstretch. Blossom on the Beach at 7-5. Leads in Stonebridge Dramas right there, nose down into the pocket. Southwind Bayou on the outside. And now 3 wide. Keep Watching is going to move, and Tanzanian is still covered up on the inside. Then it is Rosella and Stargazing Cruiser. Blossom on the Beach and Scotty Coulter as they hustle on up to 3/4. Has them stacked up 3 deep and behind Blossom on the Beach. And on the inside, it is Stonebridge Drama. Keep Watching is in the 3 wide path, and Southwind Bayou backs away. Rosella on the outside. Tanzanian needs some racing room and is going to scoot through to the inside on the back of Stonebridge Drama. And then to the Stargazing Cruiser. And they turn from Blossom on the Beach and scooting right up the inside. Tanzanian now has been able to take over second. And it is Blossom on the Beach and Tanzanian second. Then Stonebridge Drama and Southwind Bayou. The win goes to Blossom on the Beach in 158-2. Blossom on the Beach, Rob, was excellent all the way around.
Yeah, she was. She got to the lead, and really just kind of. I was worried that the outside horses might not get there, and her and Stonebridge Drama both got away well in there. And Tanzanian, kind of had some bad luck there, got shuffled back, but then did get clearance late, and I thought raced really well to be second to Blossom on the Beach there, and yours truly could have really used her at 6-1.
Yeah, Tanzanian, though, actually is definitely a watch horse for next time because regardless of being locked in and getting a little shuffle, had a lot left at the end.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, Colin Kelly was blasting out with her, and it just kind of didn't work out. I mean, he's got an option. You can let Stonebridge Drama in, and they might just waltz around the track, or he can close the hole and hope for the best. He closed the hole, ended up in the 3-hole anyways, and, I mean, really did all he could there to get her in the best position to win, all things considered, and she was a rock-solid second.
And I wanted to touch on Stonebridge Drama because it was not getting the love, and yet Stonebridge Drama's record this year suggested that she needed a little more love on the tote board.
Yeah, I think so. And I kind of thought she might be the one to blast out of there. And I thought Blossom on the Beach might get lost in the mix. It didn't end up being that way. But it was a solid effort from Stonebridge Drama for sure. She had to come around for the lead and then let this one come back around. 8-1, definitely an overlay on the board. Good effort to be third.
6-3, 7-8, the top 4 coming back in front of us. Number 6, Blossom on the Beach, a 6-year-old Sunshine Beach Bay mare. Owned and trained by Paul Coulter at the winning drive to Scotty Coulter, the Tan Tornado, victorious with Blossom on the Beach in race 9. It's the 5th win this year and the 13th lifetime. Mile of 158 and 2. The ninth race payout, 6 Blossom on the Beach, $4.90, $363, 3 Tanzanian, $5.20 and $4.40, and 7 Stonebridge Drama, $4.60. $2 exactor, $27.80, dollar try, $58.20, dollar super, $156.25. Field 4, race number 10 on parade. 1, Wildcat Delight, Brent McDonough for Tyler Nostad and Blue Shoe Investments. Number 2 is High Rolling, Jonathan Drury for Tom Riley and Steve McGill. And 3 is Random Aragio, Jason Ryan for John Kennedy and Valerie Phillips. Four, She Plays for Keeps, Tyler Moore for Michelle Woodman. 5 is Marzank, Hanover, Colin Kelleher, Kyle Bossons, and Daryl Newbegin. And 6, Land of Paradise, Ryan DeRoche for Scott McNiven and Thomas Broadhurst, and Brad McNiven and Shirley Griffin. Number 7, Top Royal, Scott Golder, Kendall Ron, and Bryden Farms. 8 is Happy Looker, Nick Boyd for Mark Winnicott and Donald Smith and Donna Parker. And 9 is Smokin' Reactor, J.R. Plot Drives and Trains and Owns. Well, it's a field of 9. Let's get a look at this field, and we'll start right away with number 3, Random Aragio, a co-favorite at 5-2. Both of us have this one on top. Rob, Random Aragio, class dropper.
Class dropper, and how about the post relief? Look at the post that poor Random Aragio has been drawing. She had the 9-hole twice at Mohawk Park, the 10-hole twice at Mohawk Park in the last 5, and the trailing post last time at Western Fairs. So post 3 here tonight at the River, class dropping. I think she's going to point it towards the front end, and I think that she's the best in here on paper and should emerge victorious. 2-1 on the board right now. It's about the price I expect. Wouldn't want to go too much lower, though.
One that you went with in the second spot, 1, Wildcat Delight. Easy to see why you went with this one second. 19 top 2 finishes in the past 35 starts.
Yeah, the other thing about Wildcat Delight is last time at Sarnia, she raced against the boys, and Tyler Nostad was aboard on that occasion. That's the trainer of Wildcat Delight, and he hands the lines over to Brett McDonald tonight, who certainly knows her well. So I think that we'll see her pushing out for position off the gate, and I thought this race might just be 3-1-1-3, and certainly leaning heavily in the direction of my top choice.
And 5-1 on Wildcat Delight, now 6-1. Number 2, High Rolling, 6-1 on the board. I didn't really see this one. You're going to have to explain it to me.
Well, number 1, Jonathan Drury's here for one drive tonight, so I think that's one reason to certainly like her. She draws inside. She's been third in her last 2, and just one that I think will likely get away in a decent spot and just sit where she is and maybe finish there. And again, if JD is going to come here for a drive, I've got to respect that.
Number 5, Marzank Hanover, Colin Kelly for Kyle Boston's. Very strong connections. This is the one that I used for second. Now, the recent form, the last couple at Mohawk wasn't great, but you go back to the last time this one was on the half-mile track at the end of April at London, preferred 2 class, and was a very competitive third. Marzank Hanover, I think, fits really well here and was a solid one last year with 7 wins.
Yeah, I think so too. I've got her pegged for 4th, so I certainly think she's a player in here, and she's a horse that seems to always kind of rise to the occasion, and she kind of makes it work in whatever class she's in. She's hit the board 9-14 this season, and has hit the board with frequency over the last couple of years. So I think she can certainly get a piece of this. I certainly lean towards Random Aragio and Wildcat Delight as my top 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if she completed the trifecta or the super.
One that I used that you didn't love was 7 Top Royal, but I love that last start, the toughness, and also an April 20th start, parking every step and winning at London. Top Royal, 11-1.
Yeah, that April 20th start was absolutely incredible when she won that time by a head, and she was 3 wide early on in that one. Yeah, she's a classy mare, and I think she can certainly get a piece of this.
And you used Smokin' Reactor on the bottom because if you like the 1, you like the 9. You're the one that told me that.
Absolutely. You always got to use the 9 if you like the 1.
It's a field of 9, race number 10, Wildcat Delay. High Rolling and Random Aragio on the inside. In the center, She Plays for Keeps and Marzank Hanover. To the outside, Land of Paradise, Top Royal, and Happy Looker. And the second tier is Smokin' Reactor. It's a field of 9. It's the 10th and final dash. And leaving out, well, Marzank head over with Wildcat Delight and high rolling. Random Miragio and Smokin' Reactor gets out well from the trailer post. Right tight on the back of Wildcat Delight, but still pressing on is high rolling and Jonathan Drury wanting to roll out and get the lead. Wildcat Delight is second. Smokin' Reactor well placed in the early going third. Then Random Miragio and Marzank head over. Then it is back to She Plays for Keeps in the trailing three are Land of Paradise and Top Royal and Happy Looker. And now it is Wildcat Delight to reclaim the lead. High rolling is going to be rolling from the pocket. And Smokin' Reactor third. Opening quarter was 28-1. And then racing on the outside fourth is Random Miragio now coming first up and giving cover to Marzank Hanover. Then it is back to She Plays for Keeps, Land of Paradise and Top Royal and Happy Looker. Wildcat Delight has got the lead, but here comes Random Miragio marching with authority. Now those two share the lead at the halftime, which was recorded in 57-4. Wildcat Delight on the inside. And on the outside, Random Miragio. High rolling is in a good spot on the inside, third. And racing on the outside, Marzank Hanover is second over fourth. Smokin' Reactor fifth. And then She Plays for Keeps. Now Top Royal starts to kick into gear. And then it is Land of Paradise and Happy Looker. On down the backstretch, Wildcat Delight still has the front. Random Miragio trying to take down Wildcat Delight, but still has about 3/4 of length to make up and might have flattened out a little bit. High rolling is going to scoot up the inside. Marzank Hanover is racing fourth and getting some urging, and then it is Smokin' Reactor and Top Royal. 3/4, 1:26-3. Wildcat Delight and Random Miragio is still digging from second, but Wildcat Delight looks excellent as they come on down the stretch by, and it is Wildcat Delight. Finishing second was Random Miragio, Marzank Hanover, and then High Rolling and Top Royal to round out the top five. But Wildcat Delight, a delightful effort from post one in the final dash.
Yeah, nice effort there by Wildcat Delight. All the way on the lead, or got to the lead anyways, and then kept on trucking. And Random Miragio, I've only know her first over more than her, Gary. A hard, gritty effort to be second, but I still think Wildcat Delight was much the best on this occasion.
Yeah, Wildcat Delight went off at 9-2. The money was on Random Miragio at 4-5, but and definitely a tough trip coming first up. So Wildcat Delight gets full marks though for turning back a very game Random Miragio.
Yeah, and Marzank Hanover, followed the cover of Random Miragio and was a fast closing third there, just missing out on the second spot, and it's certainly one that you've always got to keep an eye on for next time.
And I wanted you to sell me on 2 High Rolling, and you were right that JD gave High Rolling a very good trip and got into the top 4.
Yeah, an aggressive steer from JD. As you would expect, right? He's here for one drive. He's certainly going to be putting the horse into play, and he did that. She ended up finishing fourth, and then you actually like Top Royal for a piece of it. 21-1 completes the super high five.
It helps it pay a little bit, and of course it helps the favorite is not on top. Wildcat Delight at 9-2, so the high five should be a decent price in this one. Brett McDonald is getting the job done here at Grand River Raceway and wins with Wildcat Delight. Wildcat Delight comes back in front of us, trained by Tyler Nostat, owned by Blue Shoe Investments. 5-year-old Bettor's Delight Bay Mare. It's the 3rd win this year and the 16th lifetime for Wildcat Delight. The 10th race payouts: 1 Wildcat Delight, $11.50, $4.20, $2.60. 3 Random Miragio, $3.50, $2.65. Marzank Hanover, $2.40. The dollar high five, $345.35. $2 exactor, $27.60. Dollar try, $29.95. The double, $32.50. And the dollar win for $144.20.